Alright, we've got some new BRIO Network series pieces to bring you today and build a track layout with entire network series. So let's get everything out of the box and let's take a closer look at exactly what we've got. Alright, so we've got a selection of different pieces. Now if you're not familiar with the network series, this was a range of products available sort of, I think, 2006, 2007 sort of time. Concept was, they were the figures that worked inside your computer, run your sort of computer network. And you had different characters, each had their own name. You had sort of good guys and bad guys, if you like. So Emo here, which was the male operator. You had Vero, which was one of the viruses, so you kind of had a mixture of different things. And then you had all sort of related items that sort of went along. It ran for, I think, 3 years it was in the range before it dropped. You can kind of see these second-hand often, people sort of selling them second-hand, and there was varying different sets available. But for me, one of the nice things is each of their characters were individual characters, magnetic on the bottom, so they attach on to certain things, and they were all very interactive. So you have this sort of platform here, you can drop mail. Don't think we got any letters with this lot, no. So mail would go in there, put your character on here, and it would play a sound. The other sort of defining thing with the network series was this white painted track. So that was something that was sort of unique to this range. And then we've got ramps here, ramps here, and ramps there. So that was the sort of main setup with there. We'll put set numbers on the screen so that you can see those. So then we've also got, this was part of the mail train here, so that would go on top, 3 carriages, and that was in essence the idea being carrying your emails around your computer. You'd have the mails on there, you would drop in to read the messages. Separate to that, we also, so we've got 2 of those, we have one of these big emos here. I think it's meant to have a wooden bottom, which it appears to be missing, which is a shame. That's quite a neat little piece. Something perhaps to sit on our desk, like that. Then we've got the tunnel, which I believe was with these 2. This is all, I think, about the recycling, so like your recycle bin, that was the idea. And then you've got this piece here, so I think as things would go through, you can kind of see it's got a smart track, so this would have been around that sort of time. So you see in there's a little red, so that would be interacting with the smart track. There's also a magnet on the top, so I think as you have him on there, they go through, that would activate that. Batteries stay in the bottom there. Some other bits then, we have one of these. Now this is the antivirus police. Now we actually got one of these a little while ago. We're going to have a look at our entire network series in this video and build a track layout as well with all of it. So this was all our previous stuff, but yeah, like you can see, that's one of those. It's very much yellowed in the sun compared to almost, well, not new, but certainly what it would have looked like. And these have these interchangeable slide-on covers. So we had a blue one here and a black one, and the idea was that they would swap out. So we were missing them on this one, so that's quite handy actually. Now we can sort of put those together, and we've got 2 of those. I believe that's our figure for the antivirus as well. Matching patterns there that you can see. Then I believe this was the antivirus containment. which will be this figure, which has like a strange sort of rubbery head on it. You can see him there, number 6, Z6 maybe. As I say, all of them had names. We'll put on the screen all the names so you can see those. But I think the idea, again, with him, he would be in the front there driving. This piece here comes along, contain one of the viruses on the cap, onto that part, and then take them away. So this obviously is not regular BRIO track gauge. It probably works with road, looking at it. So it would go on the BRIO road. So that's an interesting little fun bit there. I'm not sure it's necessarily intended. Feels like this bit's dragging a little bit on that middle piece. But yeah, so that's that. And then this is also one of the sort of classic pieces that you got. This was like the car for all the viruses. So they would all have their spots. Red, yellow, and then the main guy on the top there. There's also a secondary point there, and there's also a hidden one underneath. So for when those viruses are hiding and can't be seen. So again, nice like rubber wheels, all still in pretty good condition really, considering this is almost 20 years old now. And then the last one is this piece, which was all about searching. So it's like a magnifying glass. So it doesn't necessarily interact with trains as such. Got a button on the back as well, so I'm sure that will make a sound. Oops. We update and put a new battery, or perhaps it just does a light. Yeah, we've got a battery compartment inside there. So that's all the new network series that we've got. So now I think what we're going to do is build a track layout using all of the networks. So these are all the other pieces that we had previously. So we've got this LED light with different figures. We had figures that were all about sort of laser, so CD discs at the time. Here were the male pieces that we was talking about. So another one of these here. Drop that in. Next got any batteries in. We also had that one where you could play the different messages. We've got another video on the previous stuff, so we'll pop that all up on the screen so that you can see that. But yeah, that was the idea that you would have with that. So let's get building and create ourselves a brand new layout featuring all of our network track and accessories. Okay, so here we have our track. Hopefully that little time lapse there was useful. Sort of see our process in how we go about designing and planning and building these tracks. So we've got our main male platforms in the middle there. Tried to mix it up rather than sort of just joining the two straight. And then went through picking out what supports. We're sort of testing out these new mega spiral supports. So I thought we'd use those in here. And yeah, dug out all the rest of our network track and added all the other bits to it as well. Tried to keep the theming sort of consistent. I had to use a couple of red bridges just to get over there, but sort of goes with the LED and the red parts of these tracks here. So yeah, no, I think on the whole it's turned out pretty well. very happy with the track really, and it's a single loop, so one train will go round. So we take this one here that starts there, comes along, down through the tunnel, under that part, around here, through the crossroad, dives under, up, back across, around that bridge, down the ramp, around that bend, over the ascending curve and back down, to come along this one, around here, across this, round this bridge, tight turns, round the corner, back round, back through that cross, up, straight through here, down, round, back up, round this part here, come around past the big LED by the viruses and back to the beginning. So that is our BRIO Network track featuring all of our network series. Let me know what you think of this in the comments, and if you'd like to see more from this series, we'll look to try and pick some more of the track up and keep our eyes out for more of the accessories. In the meantime, if you're new here, thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our BRIO adventure content.